Somewhere deep in the American Southwest, a seemingly endless stretch of asphalt ran straight through lifeless dunes and rust-colored stone. This was a road most travelers avoided after dark, whispered to be cursed or unfinished. But for one man, the call of curiosity was far louder than common sense. He set out at noon, the horizon blurring with shimmering heat, driven by a story he'd once overheard at a gas station diner. The cashier had spoken of a stretch where the pavement simply ended, not gradually, but all at once. No signposts, no warning, just black tar turning instantly into pale dust. The man laughed then, thinking it was just a local ghost tale meant to spook tourists. But as weeks passed, that image of a road snapping from modern asphalt to crude dirt gnawed at his mind. It felt like an unfinished sentence in a forgotten book. He planned meticulously, extra fuel cans, emergency lights, water, food, and his camera. The goal wasn't adventure, it was documentation. To prove that the rumor was just desert legend bathed in superstition and sunstroke delirium. At dusk, he had driven miles beyond cell service, tracing coordinates scraped from old surveyor maps. The air shimmered oddly, as if the desert itself was breathing. It was beautiful and oppressive, every grain of sand shimmering like signals from another world. Then it happened. Without transition, the tires dipped, smooth blacktop replaced by coarse dirt, almost as if the earth had swallowed the road mid-breath. He slammed the brakes. Dust rose like smoke, swallowing the horizon. He stepped out, boots crunching on cracked earth. The paved line stretched neatly behind him, yet ahead there was only an infinite path of gravel and wind. He knelt, touching where pavement met dust. The edge was perfectly straight, too perfect to be natural. It wasn't erosion. The scene was surgical. No debris, no transition layer. It was as if two realities had been stitched together poorly, the world's fabric slipping 1 millimeter out of sequence. He turned back toward his car and froze. Where there had been a clear highway minutes ago, there was only emptiness. The pavement was gone, replaced by more endless dust. Panic clawed through him, his footprints were the only evidence of direction. His GPS flickered erratically, coordinates jumping dozens of miles within seconds. The compass on his dash spun aimlessly, pointing to nowhere. Behind him, the air rippled like heat haze, but colder, eerily still. Sweat rolled from his forehead, though the temperature had dropped. He whispered to himself, trying to map his route backward, but every direction looked exactly the same. The sun hung lower now, fixed unnaturally in place, refusing to set. He started driving again, headlights spilling dull yellow over gray dust. The scenery repeated like a broken loop, same bend of boulders, same sparse cactus. It was as though the desert had only a handful of props, repeating endlessly to keep him fooled. Hours blurred into a strange limbo. His clock hands didn't move, yet fatigue wrung his body. When he checked his camera footage, each clip played identically, the same 30-second stretch of road repeating no matter how long he recorded. He tried marking the path by tossing empty bottles, but minutes later, he'd see them lying again by his tires, rolling slowly as if placed there by invisible hands. Each attempt to break the loop deepened his fear, something was aware. Radio crackled. Not static, murmurs, half-formed voices speaking in overlapping whispers. One phrase cut through, "Turn around." The words crawled across the speakers as if breathed by the desert itself. He shouted into the night, demanding an explanation, any living response. But only silence returned, heavy and absolute. Somewhere in the gloom, a faint light flickered, not far, perhaps headlamps from another traveler. He followed it desperately, bouncing over uneven ground until the glow steadied and revealed another car. The same make, the same color, the same dent on the right fender, his own vehicle, idling silently. The air turned electric. Every hair on his arms rose. Carefully, he approached the twin car, and through the windshield, saw himself gripping the wheel, eyes wide, frozen mid-turn in a perfect reflection of fear. He stumbled backward, collapsing into the dust, gasping as his heartbeat thundered in his ears. When he blinked, the other car was gone, no tire marks, no sign of disturbance, as though it had dissolved with his sanity. In the distance, faint rhythmic thuds echoed, maybe footsteps, maybe pulse. He couldn't tell. The ground itself seemed to breathe, expanding subtly beneath his hands as if alive, exhaling warm air through minuscule cracks. Dazed, he turned off his own engine and listened. The silence now pulsed like invisible vibration inside his skull. Above him, the stars shimmered in unfamiliar constellations, rearranged like a forgotten code. He walked aimlessly until the desert was absolute black, the moon swallowed by clouds that hadn't been there before. His sense of distance collapsed, the world shrinking and stretching randomly around him. Every step echoed for seconds too long. Then, far ahead, he found a faint line of asphalt cutting through the dark once again. Relieved, he jogged toward it, laughing with tears in his eyes. Finally, something fixed, something real. But when his boot touched the pavement, the texture shifted. It wasn't road anymore, it was glossy, smooth like glass, reflecting his pale face from beneath his feet. Something moved beneath that surface, like shadows swimming under ice. He screamed, pounding on the glassy surface as hairline cracks spread out in circular veins. His reflection smiled back, independently of his own mouth. Then the light vanished, everything fell into complete blackness. When dawn came, a search party found his abandoned car miles from any known road. The tires were coated in dust identical to no soil samples in the region. His footprints circled endlessly, always leading back to the same spot. Authorities marked it as exhaustion-induced disorientation. Yet local highway workers swore the maps occasionally changed overnight, new unmarked routes appearing briefly before fading again. Satellite images offered no answers, but one frame captured an impossible detail, a smooth black ribbon cutting briefly through desert terrain on a date it shouldn't have existed. A digital ghost of a road undone. Experts dismissed it as pixel corruption. But those who've driven the southern route swear they've seen the same sudden color shift on the horizon, the line where asphalt meets nothingness. Truckers say their radios emit low, guttural tones there, even when turned off. GPS systems snap to zero coordinates for a few heartbeats before correcting. They call it the desert blink, a space that forgets it's real. One old man living nearby tells of hearing engines at night but seeing no lights. He claims the road isn't gone, it's asleep, half buried beneath an older version of time, waiting to wake again. Sometimes, people find torn maps by the roadside, with sections missing or smudged out. Each map folds differently, as if trying to hide its true design. The route seemed to rearrange, defying any sense of geography. Astronomers recently recorded magnetic fluctuations above that patch of desert, faint but rhythmic, like a heartbeat. The pulse corresponds exactly with when travelers claim to lose signal. Nobody drives that way after midnight anymore. Yet under full moons, shimmering tire marks appear from nowhere, fanning out toward the dunes, their direction reversing every few hours. As if something still travels that forgotten route. And some nights, on clear air, a faraway hum drifts through the canyon winds, like an idling engine miles away, waiting for a traveler who never returned. The desert holds its secrets, patiently.